Tonight on My.Na Property, we explore properties that are fit for your lifestyle and budget. Join me, My.Na, as we discover stunning homes that are designed for modern living. I have always loved the aesthetics, not fashion in particular, but just the idea of beauty. And today we are going to be talking all things beautiful. Today we are talking all things rugs, and joining us right now is Raymond Shikale. He is a rug dealer and he owns the business called By Ray Designs, and we're going to be delving into that business to find out exactly how you can get the best rug on the market. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am fantastic. Talk to us about your passion. Have you always known that you could turn your talent into a profitable business?
Well, to be quite honest, growing up, I was a very curious kid. So I enjoyed taking things apart, which sometimes got me into trouble with my parents. But then that's basically where my, so to say, talent comes from. Just basically taking things apart, trying to see how they work. And during COVID, that's basically where my passion came out and it came alive. Because in the period of COVID, we were actually working from home. So I had ample time to basically explore my creative side. So I came across this popular trend of tufting, and it really caught my eye. It caught my eye, and I decided to do research for, let's say, about a year and a half, since it was still the COVID times. And so that's where it all came together, so to say.
Okay, apart, from, I would take that COVID inspired your work, your upbringing inspired your work. What else inspired your work and your creative process?
Well, I would say day-to-day activities, basically what is happening in the news. One of my biggest inspirations, even you could actually literally see it all through my art, is music.
Okay.
I'm very passionate about music. I enjoy listening to music, and it kind of puts me in a different world where my creative side just, it, when you listen to a particular song, it's, you feel untouchable and you feel like the world is yours. So mostly I would say definitely music.
Okay, what type of music do you listen to? Are you the amapiano type, hip hop type?
No, I'm definitely a hip hop fan. More to say the lyrical side of it, because I like the storytelling.
Yeah.
And that also shines through in my own artwork as well. I would like to tell a story whenever I make a rug for someone.
Okay. Speaking about making rugs for other people, how long does an order take if I'm to say now, make me the most perfect pink rug? How long will that take?
Well, our turnaround time actually depends on the size of your rug.
Yeah.
So behind you right here, something like this, in a perfect world, this would take between 10 to 15 days.
Okay.
But I've been told that I'm a sort of a perfectionist, so it might take longer just because I might end up changing a few things.
Yeah.
But then obviously I need to consult you as the client just to make sure that you're happy with the changes made as well.
Okay, walk us through the process of making this rug. Do you first do a sketch? What happens?
So let me start with the most important part of it, is actually discovering the idea. All our rugs are custom made, so the client basically has a hand in creating the rug. So the first point to touch on is the idea, which the client provides. After getting the idea, it's now up to us to basically see how big we can make it, and then that's the part of where we project it onto our primary material. sketch it out. We don't really do any pre-sketches or anything like that.
Okay.
It's basically just tracing it onto a fabric.
Okay.
After that comes the most exciting part. That's now the tufting part of it. So the tufting is, I would say, the most fun part of it because it's like a coloring book. It takes me back to my youth. So you just allocate what color, where you want it, basically,
Okay.
and that's how you make sense of it. After that, we do the backing. The backing is basically just putting the protective layer behind the rug to make sure that it's a non-slip rug, definitely if it's for the ground, because we obviously do not want our clients slipping. And then the final part is the detailing, which is now getting Tupac to look somewhat like Tupac.
Yeah.
Because most of our ideas, I always try to tell the client, it will not exactly look like the image, but as long as there's a bit of resemblance, then we are happy. And that's basically the whole process.
Okay, sounds like a very exciting and long process.
No, trust me, definitely. It is a long process.
Okay, let's talk about some of your most, recent projects that you're absolutely proud of.
Oh wow, that's a very very simple answer. So I recently created a $200 Namibian note,
Okay.
which is quite popular. You can go check it out on our Instagram, by Ray Designs. So this project actually just started with a client telling me they wanted a $200 bill, and I didn't want to make it basic, so I basically decided to alternate between the two styles that I'm proficient with, which is the tufting and the punch needling. That one, I would say, took me close to a month to complete,
Okay.
but I'm very, very happy with the outcome of it and how the public has
Received it.
accepted and
Okay.
received it, because it's quite a unique one. I'm sure the people watching at home can go see it on our Instagram and just see what I'm talking about.
Okay, I'm definitely one of those people that are going right from here to your Instagram page to go and see that perhaps I can get myself something stunning as well. Challenges. What are some of the challenges you have experienced on this business journey?
Wow. I would say one of my biggest challenges was actually sourcing the equipment and the material that I use in my projects. Because locally, we don't really have a shop that can supply the equipment on a timely basis, so we would usually have to order from outside of the country. The second challenge I would have said was funding, trying to get funding just to breathe some life into my business. So for now, we are totally fully self-funded.
Yeah.
So all the dollars that I'm throwing in are my own, and I'm quite proud of it. But in future, I would definitely apply for some funding. I did see some opportunities have availed themselves. But then, lastly, one of the challenges that I'm experiencing as my work is now basically in the public eye has been just the marketing and the administration part of it, because I'm more of the creative. I want to create. I want to make things, and that's it. So
You don't want to be answering calls
no,
and
no,
responding to
no,
DMs.
not really. But it comes with the territory. So I'm actually learning to just embrace it and trying to be more patient and just understanding in that aspect. And I can say I'm doing quite a good job. So I look forward to that side of the business.
Okay, so how would you say your pieces improve the aesthetic of any space?
I would say all our rugs have their own individual personality. They're sophisticated in a way that you, as the client, have a say in what we are putting out there. So it's not only by being represented, but also your personality as a business, as an individual, or as an entity as well. So we are there to bring some personality, sophistication, and just that overall wow factor when someone walks into your office or your bedroom, for example.
Okay.
So we are the wow.
Okay, speaking about being the wow and that wow factor, how can your rugs be styled in different spaces?
Well, I would want to say the easiest go-to would be wall art and floor art. But then we are working on a few different ways we can style our rugs better. I don't want to say too much because it is kind of a top secret.
Okay, it's a business
Yes,
secret.
it's a top secret, something that we wanna push out, but definitely we will definitely be going into more table art as well.
Okay.
Something for the table, something we're even thinking of going with the outdoor approach. But then, like I said, it's a bit of a secret for now, so don't wanna give too much away.
Okay, I'm going to ask you the final question that is not a secret, not a business secret. What would you say to our audience about supporting local artists like yourself?
Well, I would say when you support an artist, you're not only supporting the individual, but you're actually supporting the bigger picture, which is sustainability. You're funding a dream for everyone. For example, every child that is watching this, they can also stand up and say, "Oh wow, I saw this Baire guy. What is he about?" You might inspire the future generation to actually dive into a more artistic approach, because we do know that youth unemployment rate is quite high, and these are the kind of endeavors that people can take on to basically put their dreams out there and make some money from it. And also, we're putting Namibia on the map. We're proudly Namibian. Local is like a, please remember that.
All right, Ray, thank you so much for joining us on My.Na Property. We wish you all the success with your business.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Last week, we visited Mutua Scriba Architects right here in the heart of Ventuka at the village, and this is what we got up to.
Architecture is driven by passion. You have to be passionate about it. If you're not passionate about it, you'll get exhausted very soon. It's sometimes very thankless work, but we're passionate, and we're passionate about being professional in our service and delivering the best possible service to our clients. Our core philosophy that I think was inculcated into us by Leon, who started the firm, is a principle of minimalism.
Okay.
The buildings are part of the architectural composition, that is the landscape. So the buildings aren't necessarily the focus, it's what the buildings create in terms of the space. So we're talking about the courtyards, the views, the vistas that we create, the experience that someone has with his environment as they interact with the building. So our core philosophy is more minimalistic. We get a design, we try and place ourselves in our client's shoes, and we refine the idea, we simplify it, we create, we maximize the views, we walk through the project as if we were the client, making sure our views and vistas lead to the outside, the spaces must make sense. I always say to myself, when we design a project, I always want to have our client able to comprehend, our client and the users able to comprehend the design, and in 2 minutes be able to sketch the building. Then it's memorable. So we try to create memorable architecture and simple, comprehensible architecture, which is minimalistic.
Okay, so then as an architect, what role do you play in like shaping big cities like Windhoek, you know?
Yes. When we approach architecture, we don't just approach it on an individualistic level. That is, you design your building in isolation, but you approach it such that you make context, you take the context into account in terms of the urban environment, the urban fabric. Where is your building situated? For example, if you're designing a building that is the gateway to the city,
Yeah.
coming along Sam Nujoma, it needs to be a building that is impactful, that resonates with the city, that is iconic, and that is a landmark, that speaks to the city. That, you don't just have a welcome sign that is put up by the council, but you also have architecture that speaks to the sense of place and the urban environment. And it's very important because you also set the tone for other designers and architects that will come after you as they design buildings in the area. They can then take a leaf from what you have designed and be able to take that through to the end.
Okay. What is your favorite, building or property that you've worked on so far that you're like, every time you look at it, you pass by it, you see it in pictures, you're like, man, I did that.
There's quite a number, but one that really does stand out, for the firm is City of Windhoek. It's a building that is calm, is inviting. You've got that portal that really, the portal through the building that really speaks to a sense of place, and it's got a calming aesthetic to it. It has a perception towards the viewer that calms them, and you find yourself just looking at the building and wondering, is it speaking to me? Is it dialoguing with me? And silent though it may be, it actually is in conversation with you.
The question was asked, what are the regulations that frustrate the architect in his work, especially in relation to Namibia specific? And I would say it's basically your city councils and town councils where the regulations hasn't changed, but technology has moved on, and the rules and regulations they apply doesn't really help much. Because if one look at COVID, for instance, when they had to get facilities ready, most of these facilities were tents, and it was a crisis, but nothing needs to look ugly, where architects come, get involved. And that is one of the reasons the regulations, for instance, a normal citizen would buy a property and think that's his world, the area that he bought. But then he runs into so many regulations and things that restrict him to do what he actually wanted to do. And that is where, and also the time it takes to get plans approved. You can not really move forward during that time. You just have to wait for them to finish. You don't really have a say in it. And that is what's very frustrating to architects and technologists, that you are bound by these bylaws of them.
Yeah, the trends, like I've said previously, we're coming out of a bit of a recession and a pandemic. Since end of last year, we're seeing the building environment picking up again. Government is spending again, but also the private market is spending again, and I would say the trend is, if you look around, the general public, they understand more and more what good spaces are. People appreciate courtyards, very much the same that we're sitting underneath here, a big tree, landscaping, garden. Because Namibia has got the nice weather, and you know, you want your buildings to open up. You want the spaces to become outside spaces. And that's what I've realized a couple of years is that people are realizing the quality of those spaces. So they don't accept mediocre designs, mediocre spaces, but actually spaces that invite nature and courtyards, and then I think that's what our firm does.
Yeah.
Our buildings, like the village here that we are sitting now, is from our firm. It's very much where nature and courtyard and outside spaces are celebrated, and our buildings become the background to it. And I think people are drawn to it. People understand the value to that. And then, of course, designing beautiful buildings that are pieces of art that you look. I mean, there's that 7-second rule: is if you look at something, it takes 7 seconds to decide whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So that's our scope and our sphere, is that 7 seconds that you capture your audience, you capture your buyer, you capture your client.
Talking about beautiful buildings, I can attest that your firm does do beautiful buildings. I love the work that you did at City of Windhoek.
Okay.
That was amazing. Or it is still amazing. I see it every day. I'm like, okay,
Yes.
this is something.
Yeah.
Marco, thank you so much for joining us on My.Na Property.
Okay. That was wonderful. Thank you.
We will be right back. Stick around. We brought you news, DIY hacks, and even the best rug dealer in town. This has been another exciting edition of My.Na Property. We will see you next week, Tuesday, same time, and of course, at a different location. My name is My.Na. Until next time, it's all my love, all my light.